Hey fuckers, it's Friday.
Can't spell shattered without shat or turd.
Like a gut punch to the abdomen.
Some of the funniest shit on the web.
I call it a rock Fred.
I like the cut of your jib, gentlemen.
These 5 are the only protection we have.
The best part of the show is the genuine Hasbro love.
Good night, folks.
And of course, Pat's weekly farts.
Breaking news. It's very outside of the box.
Nailed it.
I love Friday. Bob's Bait and Tackle, now carrying Hasbro.
They truly are your favorite podcast.
Thoughts, prayers, likes, and shares.
Shatteredcast.
A to B.
Shatteredcast Uncut? Is that you? Shatteredcast
When are you going to bring Larry back?
My favorite Star Wars podcast.
Shatteredcast Uncut.
Like complete fuckers. Podcast is intended for mature audiences only, and its sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it off now and
Shut the fuck up, Chip.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shatteredcast Uncut, episode 338. We are 338 years old today. Somebody get us a lit cigarette. I'm your host, Oscar Alonso, as always, better known as that guy in the back in the corner of the room in Fistful of Fireman 9, guest starring Bobby Skullface and Chris Pinkerton. And joining me tonight are two members of the Furious Four. First off, this young man is a remarkable attorney. He's making big moves in his life right now. He couldn't join us last week because he had technical difficulties. He's your favorite lawyer friend of mine, Mr. Robert D.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, my internet went down.
Couldn't find the on button on his computer.
You know what it is? The cable company apparently, I thought they were just BS text messages saying like, please install the new modem that we sent you. I'm like, I did not receive a new modem. And like, my entryway is so full of boxes right now. Turns out I did receive a modem. I found it yesterday. But I didn't install it yet. I just had to restart everything. Like Lisa had got the cable company on the phone, and they just had to send some signal. But yeah, it was annoying. Everything worked except my internet in my house.
You know, and I had said to you, did you try turning it off and on again?
They had to send like a signal. No, I had. I like unplugged it, waited, plugged everything back in, didn't change anything. But they had to like send some signal or something.
Was your new modem hiding underneath your Unicron boxes?
No, it was in a brown plain box. I was like, "What's this?" You know, and
it says modem from cable company.
They did
cable
send
spelled with a K.
It's annoying. It's like I had to mail back the other modem. Meanwhile, I already sent like trashed the box, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
You sent them you mailed them their modem back, and you wrapped it up with Bounty toilet paper and tape, and then you wrote in shitty Sharpie their address. I hope it gets there.
Modem. I'm just gonna like use one of like the meat shipping things that like with like melted ice packs. Yeah,
that fucking parchment paper or whatever that they use to wrap meat up in freaking good delis.
No, like I sometimes order I'll order like meat online. Like since the pandemic came, I'll like order steaks and stuff and burgers because I don't want to go to the grocery store if I don't have to. And it comes in a big box with like ice packs. So maybe I'll just freeze them up and put the modem in there. They'll think they're getting steak or something. It'll just be the modem.
Yes. Oh.
Someone sent us steak. Oh, it's just a modem. Why is it cold though? What was he doing?
Why is it frozen?
Smells like
a block of ice.
Smells like fresh Wagyu.
But before we move on, I want things to stay jovial and everything. But I do want us to remember that this week we did lose somebody, a really important person in the community. New York Mike. He died suddenly and he died young, unexpectedly too. And
major wake up call for a lot of us.
Yeah, a wake up call in many ways. It's to to watch your health. Even if you think you're healthy, you got to get to a doctor. I haven't been to a doctor in years, which is stupid because I have health insurance. And, take care of yourself. But also, don't take anything for granted, And, Mike was a very much a community, focused collector. He was always at the functions, at all the conventions, NJCC, everything. He went to Skullfest and everything. I mean, you'd always see him, and he always had a smile on his face. He was very, very kind, very, very friendly, very open. He always had a story. He could always relate to whatever you had to say. And, I feel it's a big loss. He's the kind of friend. He was a very close friend to many people. But, I wasn't close friends with him, and I find that, that's my fault. And, he's the kind of friend you don't realize the importance until he's gone. and then I feel regretful and I feel a sense of guilt. But he leaves behind a 9-year-old son and his wife, and I posted in the Shattered Cast that if anybody wants to contribute, just hit us up for the PayPal info, and all the contributions will go directly to his wife to help take care of his son. And Mike's the kind of guy where any one of us, he would be there for if, God forbid, this ever happened to us. So if anybody deserves that kind of treatment, it's Mike and his memory and his family. So, hit us up. I know a few people did. Oscar contributed. A few people did already hit us up, and they're hitting up, the whole Cool Table Network's basically broadcasting it. So hopefully we can all come together and help, in some way, do something. But so it's sad. It's super sad. But Mike's memory lives on because it reminded us to appreciate each other. I can't tell you how many people that I've always been really friendly with, and it's kind of friends in our community where you see each other at a con or any convention or whatever, and it's like you pick up where you left off, and it's hugs, hanging out, and smiles, and everything, regardless of political beliefs or affiliation, background. It all, I feel like the connections we have is because we are connecting, we connect, with something that, we relate to our childhood before you develop those views. And I feel like because of that, when we connect as adults over this stuff, we just don't even see those difference in views. We see each other as people, and it's a great example, I think, on humanity's potential, brotherhood. And Mike is a great example of that, and he's that silent glue, and he still is doing it because I can't tell you how many people hit me up, how many people I hit up, and we're all just talking about how we do need to stay in touch. And it's hard because you're grown up, you have so much shit you have to deal with. There's not enough time in the day, but sometimes you have to carve it out and make it happen when you can. But yeah, anyway, try not to be too somber, but I just felt like it was important to bring it up and remember him to some extent on the show.
I agree. He's a good guy. To share my own memories with him, he was always at TFCon, like if you were just hanging out, he'd always come over just to chat, you never felt like you were hanging out by yourself because he would come over and it was a lot of fun to talk to. I think he always had something to talk to someone, which made him super cool. So it was a very, very heavy loss.
Yep. I think Oscar fell asleep.
No, I was
Oscar's just
composing myself. So.
Oscar is definitely, he missed out. He never got the chance to meet him, and that sucks. But what can you do? So.
Yeah, and that person speaking is the second person that was introduced. He's the math professor at T2RX6. Yeah, he invented Transformers when he was just a mere baby. With his mind.
I don't think that's true, but it's fine.
Yes. Don't Google it. Just believe us. You know us. We would never lie to you. So, did anybody get anything, Robert?
I think last time I was on, I missed last week, I mentioned I got the Zeta Unicron, right?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, so since then, I got in the X-Trans. I got 2 of the X-Trans bots, Junkions, 2 out of the 4 that are coming. So I got 2 of them, and nice. That's cool. That mold really holds up. It really does. It's still top notch, and wasn't loose or anything. One of the guys, he's supposed to be yellow, and instead it's more like highlighter yellow. It's like a greenish neon yellow, but I don't necessarily hate it.
Did they upgrade any of the parts of it?
They tweaked the mold. They changed little subtle things with the mold so that they do look a little different. But I didn't notice any difference.
No engineering difference, or?
No, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
No. But yeah, so that'd be cool to have a junkie on shelf in the room that has no space in it. And actually, this is the perfect space for a junkie on shelf because I'll just put them with all the junk, and they'll just be like, "Yeah, man, junk. I love junk. This room is an ode to junkions. Yeah, man. Enjoy your fucking modem you found under a pile of junk." You know you have too many fucking boxes when you get a modem shipped to you and you don't even know you had one. Oh, jeez. God. What else? I also got the Magic Square Soundwave, and he comes with, I didn't transform him yet, but I believe the tape is actually Rumble and Scout combined. I believe so. I believe the two of them transform into the tape.
Into one
which is
tape?
An interesting take. I believe so. I believe so, because I thought it was just Rumble, but they come in tape mode. But then I looked at the images, and I was like, oh, I thought it came with Scout too. But then I look at the images, and you see Rumble and Scout. Here, I'll send it to the chat. And then I looked at the colors and the shapes, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I think they combine. Here, I took a picture here. Yeah, I just sent it. So it looks like they just combine. Ding!
Oh, yeah, I could see that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's interesting. So, and also on the way is the next so Sound Blaster came with Laserbeak, so you got to buy Sound Blaster if you want Laserbeak. Soundwave comes with Rumble, and then the next release is a 4-pack with Rat Bat, Buzzsaw, Frenzy, and Ravage, which is cool. You know, fuck Buzzsaw, but you know, nobody gives a shit about Buzzsaw.
The yellow bird. No one cares about it.
I mean, it's cool, but it's just, you know, and I think the original Soundwave it was Buzzsaw that came with them, right?
Yeah.
I love that, you know.
Or Yellow Condor.
I remember feeling gypped when I remember it was like it was so long ago, and I found my Christmas presents. I found where my mom had hidden them in her bedroom closet, and I looked, and it was Soundwave, and I was like, why is there's a big yellow? This sucks. I felt so gypped. Oh God, but no. But so that's coming, and I think that's all that came in. I just had to order another Magic Square Red Alert because several weeks ago, Lisa inadvertently knocked my Magic Square Red Alert off the shelf. I was so mad. I told you guys this. It's like fucking broke. But luckily, it was only $24 because on eBay. It was
dude, I could have sent you mine.
You have it? You have Magic Square?
Yeah, I have a Magic Square Red Alert and a Sideswipe. I just got to find their guns. I could have sent you mine.
I already ordered it. It's fine. You keep yours. Hey! Got a haircut today.
Yeah.
Went out and got a haircut. I had to do it on the down low because Lisa was telling me I wasn't allowed to go do that, and I did it anyway. And but they get so by appointment only.
So
and like only on
what? Let me ask you this: to get it done and keep it on the down low, how does that exactly work? Like, you get back and you're just like, I was just outside, and it was craziest thing. And this car pulled up, and the guy got out, cut my hair.
Well, Lisa might not have noticed. That's what's funny about her. She overlooks certain details. She might not have noticed, but Scarlett was like, you got a haircut. I was like, shit.
He's like, shut up. Just shut up for a second. God damn it. You ruined everything.
But it passed, you know, I said, nope, they only let one person in at a time. It was by appointment only. They had a table by the door. They took your temperature. You had to sign in. You had to use Purell and minimize talking. You know, you wear a mask. So it was all as good as it could be. And I was the first appointment of the day, which I was happy about. But yeah, it feels weird getting a haircut. I feel like naked now, you know. But and that's about it.
I just let Adele buzz my hair, and then I don't have to worry about any of that shit. So
yeah,
no problems there.
Just put on the Ryan bowl. The J Ryan, we borrowed that hair bowl. Put it on my head.
I want to look like a Jonas brother from the 90s.
Hey Ryan, let's see the twins.
So, Justin, did you get anything?
I did. I got from the one and only just one. Broken Trailbreaker.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but
Oh
I
my
mean, I
God.
knew it was broken, so I was.
There's a story behind that too, though.
So.
Why?
There is.
Please enlighten us.
Well, no, finish saying what you got this week.
No, that's all I got is a broken trail breaker.
Oh,
I gotta figure out how to fix them. So now I'm interested in the story because I feel like it makes my purchase even better.
So I got from Jisk One. I mean, and if you listen, Jisk probably doesn't like everyone else that used to be friends with me. You know, hit me up if you listen into this. But so he posts everything there, right? And I'm like, oh my God, here's my chance to get a Fans Toys coat. And of course, he wants he wants the going amount for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not overpriced. It's what he's going for. So I'm like, oh man, I can't swing that. So I'm like, oh hey, what's up with that hoist and trailbreaker? He's like, trailbreaker's got a broken leg.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the record stops. I'm like, you should probably sell it to Justin. He'll fix it. And he's like, really? I'm like, dude, he can fix anything. Like I clearly broke off a freaking ball joint on that. Remember that iGear Skywarp?
Uh-huh.
He ended up reviewing him out. You got a review out of it from him. So it's like, you can fix anything. So I'm like, man, it never dawned on me to say, because I figured you'd be like, man, I don't want to waste my time. So I did get from Just One a Masterpiece smokescreen, which came with a bum right knee. I swear to God, and I'm on a roll here, folks. I don't know. Did I mention my Protect-A-Bots issues last week, Justin?
You did not. You should go ahead. Please.
I should. I'm going. So I had my first stash from the Chosen Prime shipped, and I got Generation Toy Bulance and Generation Toy Motor, as well as Generation Toy Red Bull. So it's a big Generation Toy haul. So I got my Red Bull.
I mean, you could
love
call
my
it
Red
Nice.
Bull. Okay, transformed it correctly, so I didn't have an issue, unfortunately, like Robert did.
Did you use the instructions? Because you really didn't need them. The instructions.
Hell no,
actually,
I didn't. I went and I watched MGO transform it.
You don't even need the instructions. The instructions actually make you fucking break it.
Yeah. So I watched MGO transform it. I transformed him to a robot, back to a bull, back to a robot. So he's in robot mode. My only problem is the ball joints on his hands are like super loose. Like they're very, very floppy. But everything else is perfect on him. Perfect. I love this thing.
Isn't
it's
it awesome?
amazing. It is. I can't wait for them to do other robots. I hope they do other characters like Sunstreaker. You know, and I came so fucking close to scoring a fucking steamroll from Bad Cube today, but I was like, oh, I got beat out by some jerk who also lives in New York.
That's a nice figure.
It is, and
but no, I don't think they did a Sunstreak. These what are they called? God damn it,
T-Beasts.
T-Beasts. I don't think there are two books with the art in them, and I don't think there is a rendition of Sunstreaker in there.
I wish they'd do it. Make him a fucking yellow bowl.
I don't remember.
Or right.
I don't believe they did a Sunstreaker. You know, they did several versions of the Seekers, Coneheads. There's a lot, so even some obscure characters. That's where they got the Generation Toy, Optimus Primal from, and that TE Bumblebee that turns into a tiger or something.
Yeah.
And but we saw the release of the Starscream, which I like. I like that it's an eagle.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm waiting for that to get up there for pre-order on the Chosen Prime second.
I actually pre-ordered the white version of the Optimus Primal. I did pre-order that because it looks good. It looks good.
My only beef is trying to tighten up the die cast on Optimus Primal's feet. They're both really loose now.
Really?
Yeah, which has me really upset because I'm like, maybe if I put crazy glue in this crack and it'll... And then I hear a Justin voice come in my head going, don't do it, man, because I'm not going to fix it.
Thank God.
Don't do it.
Thank God you get that rational voice of mine that tells you not stop putting crazy glue on your toys. Crazy glue is just stopping things from moving. Whenever someone says I'm putting it on, I'm like...
I did message Jisk One in regards to my smoke screen because now I have all the Datsun brothers again. And I go, hey, this guy's got a bum right knee, just giving you a heads up. I don't know if any other figure you have. He's like, oh, dude, well, I just sent you the one because he had like two of everything, with the exception of some Fans Toys figures. So, he's like, I sent you the one that was in, vehicle mode already. And it's not to take away from Jisk, So I'm like, yeah, just be careful. Like, I'll just try to fix it. So I did use some nail polish, and I spent like the better part of 2 days letting it dry overnight in the hinge itself, and now it's very usable. It's no longer as loose and floppy as it was, which makes me very happy. Which also makes me very sad because I had a sideswipe that took a shit on me like that, and I was like, oh shit. And ergo, why I'm hunting down a steamroll. So if any listeners out there have a bad cube steamroll you'd like to let go, so my bad cube Sun Surge can have his brother, let me know. More than happy. Let's see what else. So then on to the bigger disappointments. Smokescreen was not a disappointment.
You know what, Oscar? Before you go on,
what?
I just want to tell you, if you get so, let me be kind of clear on this. I would go for the actual masterpiece sideswipe before I go for the bad cube steamroll. If you like your bad cube sunstreaker, because that steamroll looks so good, it makes the bad cube one look like shit. And then you'll want to go and track down the actual MP sunstreaker, who looks fantastic next to sideswipe. So I would look for an actual masterpiece sideswipe before I go for steamroll, just because he fits in with the bad cube aesthetic better.
Okay, so if anyone has a masterpiece sideswipe they'd like to sell to me at a decent, let me quote the cafe, at a reasonable price, let me know.
Reasonable price.
Reasonable price. It has to be the MP Plus version. I want show accuracy, god damn it. But yeah, so on to the other 2 generation toy figures. So Bulans, I take him out. I love his vehicle mode. The figure is very IDW.
Which figure?
First aid. Bulans. The first aid figure.
Bulans.
Bulans. I'm going by their. I'm trying to be cool like everyone else and call them by their fucking really hip third party names.
Every time I hear the third party name, I just think of the Black Betty song. I don't know. It just feels like that's what we're trying to say.
Oh, Black Betty. No, but
ambulance.
Oh, ambulance. No, so I got first aid, and I go and he comes with a trailer. So I'm like, all right, cool. I pick up the trailer, and it has like this rack that's on top of this. It looks like a little camper, right? And this rack on top where I assume the luggage would go. One of the things is broken clear off, like while it's in the box. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, well, it's not a big deal. Whatever. I'm transforming first aid, and there's this panel that's on the back of his foot that just snaps right off. So honestly, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I'm super pissed. I'm like, I was very careful with this. I used extra, kid gloves. Ever since the voodoo ordeal, do you guys remember that from TFCon 2014? Which, by the way, fucking shit. Like, every time I transformed that guy, every time, I had no clue that there were that many hinges on that leg assembly. All I did was I kept yanking it out altogether, which caused the thing to fucking break. But that spoke about the shitty integrity. But like ever since that voodoo ordeal, I've been very kid gloves with all my third-party figures. I don't force them. If something doesn't click right, I don't force it. Fuck it. I try to find a different avenue to make it happen. So that panel broke on first aid. Now I'm super pissed. So I'm like, fuck, this thing's broken. I'm really pissed off now. So later on that night, I go, like, let me check out Groove. Now, if any listeners can remember when you were a kid, you know how you shook that cereal box and that cereal just came out of there into the bowl, right? I could have done the same thing with the Groove box. Because 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces came pouring out of there. One of them was his gun. The handlebars, it all just fell out of the fucking box after I opened it. It was just like I spilled a shit ton of cereal. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me.
Parts forming.
Yeah, so I was like, are you kidding me? So after some due diligence and making sure I'm doing things right, I did manage to get Motor, or Groove, as we all know him.
Motor and Bulance.
I got him working just fine now. The 2 pieces that fell out are like part of the seat decoration and shit, but again, I'm really happy with this figure, period. Like, part of his kickstand, like, he has this like kickstand that comes up underneath the bike that broke in half. I'm like, I don't care. So I got him. He's phenomenal. He's great. I'm happy with it. You know, first aid's kind of a massive disappointment. But, you know, and then so yeah, I got some other stuff on the way here. I just copped a really good deal for an MP Hound who normally retails for about $160. I got him for about $120.
Nice.
So that's a really good deal. Yeah, there was some haggling going on there. All came down to shipping, and I got a good deal. So now I'm gonna have an MP Hound. So now I just got to find a masterpiece sideswipe. Launching eBay now. Oh, they're all knockoffs. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, fuck eBay. I don't buy shit off eBay anymore. I don't give a damn. I won't buy it. I just can't. Nope.
Why? What's wrong with eBay?
I don't trust it. I mean, unless if it's from China, if it's a seller in China, that's not. I mean, I even still worry about the well-known ones because you never know if they sell their account and they've gone rogue. You might be that one, you know, that's part of that wave. You know, if it's a seller in China, no way. And I'm not saying that again. I'm not prejudiced against Chinese people. It's just there's a culture going on where people in that side of the world it's a business to scam the dumbass Americans who just get tricked. That's why I think if you're selling a bot on eBay and you are in the States, you can charge more than the advertised prices if the majority of them are from China. Because you could be like seller located in Florida. Like people will know, oh, this is without a doubt legitimate. Unless you're the Casey guy, then there's a problem. I think he's in Florida too. But you know, say not okay in Florida, not Casey, then you're good. But yeah, I mean, that's why I think we're actually seeing an influx of new members in the groups, and a lot of them are from the other part of the world, and I think we're seeing a lot of scammers come because they've lost many collectors have stopped purchasing items from China on eBay, so those sellers are now coming to Facebook if they can. The ones in Hong Kong can, I believe. The rest of China, they can't. But people have to stay vigilant. There's a lot of fucking scammers out there, and if you can't get conned on eBay, they'll come to the groups if they can and scam you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always one of those things too, and like it may not even be a thing. Like sometimes the scam is just like totally obvious, right? Like you're like, $20 for this, like no way, you know, like no way that's happening, you know. But then there are other times where you're like, well, okay, it's only like $2 cheaper than, you know, the U.S. retail. That seems kind of reasonable, and yeah, that could be a scammer too. Like I've had things like that, and it's been fine, and then I've had things like that where it just never ever came. So
yeah, they're just charging the going rate.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is charge the going rate.
Yep.
And you think, oh wow, this person has it in stock. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. I mean, totally agree. There are some things like I did find a voodoo ratchet on eBay from a seller for about $64. So I mean, I jumped on that just to see what's going on with it. It's only 60. It's not like I'm paying 120 brand new for the thing. I know it's used and all that other shit. So if it's a complete piece of garbage, I could just give it to Ratchet. I mean, Justin. You guys hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. So speaking of piece of shit, no, I'm kidding. GCreations Darkness Maximus.
I don't know. Maybe spot on for that. So isn't GCreations associated with No. Oh yeah. No. Who did that Defensor? I can't remember. Isn't it the same company? Isn't that GCreations still like a subsidiary?
Yes model?
No, the one you just got that was broken.
Generation Toys.
Yeah, isn't GCreations related to them, or am I missing my who's who in the third party world? Because that's possible too.
I'm pretty sure Crimson Raptor will correct us. He always does, because we're wrong about everything. I just know that GCreations Optimus Prime was notorious for being immensely over-engineered, as some people would say. Mm-hmm. Or in layman's terms, really, really hard to transform.
Mm-hmm. kind of like
goes
the
from robot
Bad
vehicle
Cube
loaded 200
Trailbreaker over-engineered.
Hey, I had a Bad Cube Trailbreaker. It was good.
His legs suck.
Well, because the one you have is broken.
Yeah, they're pretty bad though. So, and his flipper hand is also.
Oh, and shout out!
What the fuck is this?
Hey, quick shout out to the Justin Boys because the Justin Boys helped me fix my Thundercracker by not using crazy glue.
That's good.
So my Maki Toys Thundercracker is looking good on my shelf. There he is. Looking tight. Robert, are you there? You're very quiet.
I'm here.
So, yeah, so now we have a Nemesis Prime version of them. I wonder if they're going to re-release. Well, not them, because Generation Toys also did an IDW Prime, didn't they?
Yeah, maybe that's why I thought they're the same company. So
yeah,
now
this is
mention it.
It's just like the GCreations one looked good, as I recall. No, it did. This is cool.
It looked good. It was just a bitch to transform, according to a lot of reviews I've seen of it.
I remember Bubba broke his.
Did he?
Yeah, and I remember, wasn't there something with like the antennas were so small or something, like coming off the side of his head, that like a lot of them were bent out of the box. I think I recall that.
Masterpiece Prime's like that, MP44.
Yeah, I know. That's terrible. He comes with the one that's actually purposely bent, and it may be straighter than the one that comes out of the box.
Yeah, you're like, why are they all bent? Is it just battle damaged version?
Man,
did I get a special edition?
I watch reviews like in front of my wife, toy reviews. So I was watching Justin's toy review. My wife was in the office with me that day. I scared her half to death when I let out a giant "fuck that" figure when I paused it, and his chest looked like it exploded. All I see are panels everywhere, and I'm like, how the fuck did he just not throw this thing against the wall and just say "fuck this"?
It is a test of patience, that's for sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it looks so good though. It still looks like this could have been a release nowadays, like, and this is what, 2 years ago this first came out. I mean, It looks good. It's funny how when time passes, transformations that we thought were difficult now are like, oh, come on, And I wonder what this thing was like. I've never tried to transform this, but it still looks good. I mean, look, I got the Flame Toys. I'll never need another like IDW style-y kind of Prime at this point, but this looks pretty good. At this point, I don't like seeing Prime repaints. You know what I mean?
Old.
I'm a hypocrite because I got the white Generation Toy Gorilla coming, but I just feel so overmilked. My teats are sore at this point. I don't care. I'm just so tired of the repaints because I know what it feels like, to get them and get this repaint, they get that repaint, then this repaint. Then you're like, you look at your shelf and you're like, like you have that feeling where you're wrung out from it, and kind of it takes away from the shine of having just the one good one.
No, I think that's totally a fair assessment. Like it really does. We get. I mean, whenever you get a Prime, it's like a Starscream, right? Like it's like there's gonna be at least like 6 other repaints of this thing. We're gonna have the Nemesis one, and then someone's gonna, even though I don't know how well it sells, there's gonna be the Shattered Glass one, and there's gonna be, this one, that one, the other one. It's just like, yeah, it's too much. So it's fatigue. It's definitely fatigue. Like, and then like you get like the other ones like fucking Magic Square making the like, here's the Ghostbuster one. I'm like, without any of the things that made the Ghostbuster one interesting,
What's funny is they did it with the Legends one. If they had balls, they would have done it with their big one.
Mm-hmm.
They really could have done it. Because he didn't come with the Magic Square Prime, the Masterpiece scale one, did not come with a trailer, right? I don't believe so. So that would have been cool. They did that with a trailer, and it came with a ton of Ghostbuster accessories.
Yeah.
And instead of freaking Slimer, you can have a big Crimzeek. Like they could play with it. That would have been fun. Like they could have had fun with that. But maybe they still can. I played with that Magic Square Prime. Bobby had it. It's pretty impressive. I guess there was all of these this recent wave of Masterpiece Primes. They really all, I didn't get to play with the transform element, but Jesus, people are fervently behind that. So I assume it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have the MP44 on my shelf of it.
I pre-ordered the Magic Square Light of Freedom MP Prime.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
like
love
that
it.
one.
You're gonna love it. It's really wonderful.
I did watch an MGO review on it. I don't think Bobby did. Bobby did the Legends. I did watch MGO's review on it. I thought Justin did a review on it, but I was wrong. It was the Legends.
I'm pretty sure I did that one too.
No. You need to send me a link then.
I'll look.
But
it's arguably more tune accurate than MP44, you know, because it follows the simplicity, not plainness at all, just the tune-like simplicity. You know,
it looks good next to MP4. It looks more cartoon accurate, which is what I think is. It's basically what's been drawing me back into the Masterpiece game. Like Hound, for example, is a very suitable figure to look like he jumped out of a cartoon. And then, of course, the Smokescreen MP Plus figure looks amazing also. You know? I mean, that's just my opinion.
I just want them to, they're going to update MP, you know, they're going to have update Prime. You know, I want them to update everything. I want updated Datsuns. I want updated Seekers, you know. So that's why I never got into the MP Plus thing, you know, because I just have a feeling they're going to update this stuff. Because they have the new approach of articulation and stuff, you know. So, I mean, I love the MP stuff. That's what I have displayed. So if they came out with new Datsuns, right, would you be in on it or no?
Yeah. They're doing it now. Like I don't know if they did a prowl yet, but I may have missed out on that prowl that they made. But I know I could get my hands on a Silver Streak and a Smokescreen MP Plus because they look better. They're more visually appealing.
Yeah, but that's just MP Plus. Like we're talking, I think Robert's saying like just like if they did a whole new mold, would you be in on it? Am I understanding you right, Robert? Is that what you were saying? All right, Robert.
No, sorry about that. My wife just knocked on the door. I had ordered. See, it's like, as a collector, we have our guilty purchases, and you know, it's been so long since I've gone to Toys R Us and had to sneak in a box, but now I sneak in sausages and steaks. She knocks on the door. Oh, that does sound gross. Sneak in my sausage. She knocks on the office door. I had to put it on mute. And she's like, there's a box from Goldbelly in the hallway. I opened it up, and there's absolutely no ice in it. It's sausages. It's gross. I'm like, are they cold? There's probably dry ice, you know? The fucking vacuum packed knockwurst. What do you want? I'm eating them. I'll get botulism. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to pass up some knockwurst. We'll see. What were you asking me? I'm sorry. I had to mute it. While she. It was like an intervention. It was like an intervention with Scarlett and Lisa in the doorway.
For those of you wondering, Robert's wife Lisa is she's a very nice woman. I met her a couple of times. My wife loved her when she met her. So I'm just picturing Lisa pop her head in the room and saying all those things the same way Robert did.
Yeah, I can see it.
So it works.
She's having a whispering. I'm like, I muted. You can talk normally, and she keeps whispering.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that happens around here too.
Stop whispering. Stop whispering. I muted it. No, but I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm eating the fucking sausages. Don't throw them out. That's what I told her. Oh, I did get something else. I'm so excited.
Sausage?
A pie cakin'.
Fuck is that?
A pie cakin'. JL, I tagged him. It was Goldbelly is extremely expensive. It's like this company that's basically connecting consumers online with restaurants across the country, you know? But it's expensive. You know, so there's a lot of pizza shops in New York doing it using Goldbelly, or I can just order the pizza myself. You know, say it's $15 for pizza. You order on Goldbelly, it'll be like $50. It's like crazy, you know, but they're supporting a lot of charity and stuff and also making a fine penny for themselves. But I saw this ad on Facebook through Goldbelly for a pie cakin'. It's like It's like some type of berry. I think it's a cherry pie on top of a New York cheesecake, on top of a red velvet cake, and in between each layer is like thick lemon icing, and then it's just covered in white frosting, and it's like a 4th of July pie. And it came today, and I'm fucking giddy. I am so giddy. I can't wait to eat this thing.
You're such a fat kid.
Well, that's why I was distracted before when you were like, Robert, where are you? Because Jisk was bragging about how he lost 46 pounds, and I was busy sending him a gif of a fat guy doing 2 of the shake weights, and then Bobby was like, oh, how are you doing? In terms of my weight, and I'm thinking, well, I just got a pie cake in the mail, but I didn't tell him that because he teased me to no end. Pie caking.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to eat this pie caking.
Well, that's for dummies, and just like everyone else, they don't listen to us either.
No, they don't. No one listens. You know what? I listen to us sometimes.
I listen to us, jerk. But
if Greg's on, take a week off. I'm like, it was Greg. I'm gonna take a week off.
Anyway, moving on to the next. Matt doesn't listen.
We should do a segment like who doesn't listen this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been getting
people
messages
who don't listen.
and then I'll get messages like Cody's like, I still listen, mate. People will be like, hey, I still listen. I'm like, no, you don't.
Has he sent you messages saying that?
Cody, yeah. Several people have
really?
I still listen, man.
Yeah. No, they don't.
It's okay.
They're like, oh, Bobby left? Man, that podcast sucked. Thank God. Oh, man, that show sucked.
It just sucked. You know what it is? You know when we got the drop off? Because Matt left. Matthew Deluxe.
Matthew Deluxe fucking Baldwin.
He doesn't have a job, he's just lying. He wanted to be a full-time YouTuber.
I think that is correct. I do remember him saying that.
It's true. So it's free cell phone service, so whatever. And bait.
He has to pay half the bill. It's not free. And my phone farted. Speaking of farting, we got Cang Toys Landbull in-hand images.
Let's see this motherfucker.
Looks like a nice Gundam.
What? What is this? I don't want. Why did you guys just get prompted for welcome to a fresh, simpler Facebook.com?
No.
I hate this shit. No, I don't want to get started. Leave me alone. Stop it. Gundam. What do you mean? Gundam.
Looks like
it's funny. These really are like Toy World Zeta designs where the bot modes are meh. But oh man, I have the what the hell's its name? I have the Rampage. It's sick. This thing is sick. As soon as I saw the first review of it, and I gotta admit it was Ben's Collectibles, so I was hesitant, but I could tell the thing was heavy and it was built well. There was none of the Ben's funky editing where he has a problem, so he just conveniently skips to the next part in his editing. It looked so good. I snatched it up once I saw the size and the heft of it, and I'm so glad I got it. And this thing, I don't think this is going to disappoint. This looks just as good as the Rampage. It really does. They're fucking solid and extremely impressive in hand. It's just their bot modes are kind of, you're like, what are you? Come on now.
I mean, I like Rampage, but it's like, my fear is if I pick them up, I'm gonna totally want to finish off the set.
That might not be a bad thing. This thing's as big as Zeta. It's as big as Constructor and Superion and Bruticus, and it's probably larger because I looked at the when you attach the arm mode to the Zeta Superion, and the connectors are the same. Predaking's arm's longer, so he might actually be taller. The only problem is this might not be parts forming, which is weird. And also, it may be a 6-member team instead of like a pelvis piece, parts forming pelvis piece.
Right.
It may be an Optimus Primal, which is weird. How is that one of the Predacons? It's fucking weird.
I don't know.
It's like, but so far, man, it just looks damn good. It's a unique. It's definitely a unique piece. These these Predacons. Nothing matches them, but it may just be a really stunning standalone display piece, which I'm fine with myself, you know. But I like how the Dive Bomb looks as well. I just don't know about the other ones. We haven't. I think did we see the what do you call it? What's his name? The leader. What the hell? I keep saying Sabretooth. What the hell's his name? What's the leader's name?
Razorclaw.
Razorclaw. I know we saw the Zeta Razorclaw, or not sure if we saw the Toy World Razorclaw, because they are different. But Razorclaw is going to make the difference. I really do want to see what that thing looks like, because Dive Bomb looks really cool. He's got a fucking sick wingspan. So this thing, I love the bull mode. I would never display them in bot mode. I just don't like the aesthetic, but that's just aesthetics. You know, the other modes, I mean, the arm mode, these limb modes are really solid. I mean, you can't say much about the leg. It's just a shin, really. But the arm is impressive. So, I mean, this is just the fucking shin. It's called shin mode.
I like the limb mode. I like the limb mode. I like the beast mode because it's, well, basically this bull actually has a very big, thick neck on it.
He's got rounded shoulders, his back. He's not just a block, you know?
Yep. So
the only thing I don't really care for though is the way the head just kind of oddly sits on the back.
Yeah. In bot mode.
Yeah.
And not on his head.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like Slag, you know? Supposed to be like, you know, his head's in his beast mode head. I mean, we know that Headstrong is going to be good. If this is good, Headstrong will be good. You know. But so it's Headstrong, which is going to be this basically tweaked. We saw Dive Bomb. It's really just about Razorclaw and I guess Optimus Primal. I kind of hope they don't do Optimus Primal for a pelvis. I do hope they actually just do parts forming, because I don't know the reason this scale.
I need to say this. So no one else finds this weird that like 2 years ago, parts forming was like this big sin. And then suddenly now it's like, well, if you want a good combiner, you're going to have the parts form.
It's because you get the stability and strength in combine mode and proportions that tend to suffer with all other releases. You know, that don't do the parts forming. That's what it is. It's like, okay, wait a minute. This means he's got super good joints. He's got parts of his body that are just dedicated to providing strength in combined mode. So, and it looks better in a way, you know, that's in the eye of the beholder, but they get good proportions and super tight joints, you know, so a lot of the stuff we're used to happening with combiners doesn't happen. You know, that's what it is, really. I mean, but these guys are heavy. I don't know what they're going to do, because Rampage is fucking heavy. Not like the Zeta. The Zeta limbs are light, and that was always the biggest complaint. It's like, well, wait a minute. The lightness worked because it's got super tight combining joints, so it's okay that they're light, because once it's all combined, it's really heavy. But it's not too heavy that the arms can't hold or the legs can't hold. So I don't know what they're going to do with this. This could be a major fail. It could, you know. We shall see. Same thing is going on with Fans Toys, because those bots are pretty fucking. All of them, the aerial bots and the Stunticons, they're hefty little bastards, big bastards.
So far, the only Stunticons they've released have been legs. So I mean, you can get away with that a little more with the legs.
That's true. This Cang Toys is
Actually,
heavy though. The arm.
Are the aerial bots they've released legs too? I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Both legs.
Yep. So, as long as your arms are lighter, it's perfect for your legs to actually be heavier. So.
That's true. But we'll see. I mean, but Fans Toys is parts form. So I don't know what Cang Toys is going to do. I don't know. I hope they just scrap the whole Optimus Primal thing and go with parts forming bits. I really do. Otherwise, Razorclaw's got to be huge. He's got to be so big. You know, Bruticus, Superion. They all came with torsos. You know, they literally came with torsos, combined parts forming torsos and hips. And this might not, which means Razor Claw's just got to be the whole fucking chest and shoulders, and Optimus Primal's got to be the crotch and thighs. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be really interesting if they don't do parts forming, you know, and it still knocks it out of the park. That'll be the next step in the evolution, being able to pull off what Zeta could only really do with parts forming pieces.
All right.
They do use clear plastic for like the eyes, which I hate. It's so old hat. But there's like fucking hardcore metal, like, you know, Rampage comes with fucking sharp die cast teeth. You know, this bull, you know, comes with, you know, Tantrum comes with just a fucking die cast nose ring. I just love that. Like they definitely come decked out with die cast. You can see it on his back legs too. Just, you know, I just like the design. It works in beast mode. You know, there's a flow to it. It's not just like a block. You know. Oscar's getting this, isn't he? No, I'm not, man.
No.
Fuck you.
No. Don't make fun of my stroke voice.
Oh, no.
No.
YOLO.
I have no clue what this is. I'm going to go ahead and I feel like I'm going to regret.
Bumblebee tuna.
Well, next is YOLO. We open it up. Loading. It is YOLO Park Bumblebee Movie Cybertronian Optimus Prime Deluxe and Standard Edition price and payment information.
I'm confused. I'm very confused. What is this? Can anybody explain this? I see the price.
I don't want to.
Is it a statue?
I'm not sure. So this
is a
YOLO
fully
stuff,
licensed.
We've had stuff from YOLO before, right? Like, didn't they have an MP10? I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different company.
It's movable. It's not a statue. It's movable. It's got 333 points of articulation.
Yes, exactly what I wanted.
Are you serious? Are you making that up?
No, I'm not. I'm reading it. I'll read the entry. This is a fully licensed, non-transformable action figure featuring YOLO Park's internal interconnect endoskeleton system, IIES, that uses real mechanical gear system for smooth movement, unlike traditional ratchet joint, for a total of 333 points of articulation and standing 32 centimeters tall. It's been quite a while for the final price of this impressive piece, but still read on for full retail. So his standard version pre-order price is $21.99. That's $2,200. Limited to 2,000 pieces, requires a non-refundable deposit of $300. Deluxe version pre-order price is going to be $25.99, $2,600. Why do they do the 99? Just fucking ballpark it. Mm-hmm. Round it off to the nearest dollar. Jesus. Limited to 500 pieces, and it requires a non-refundable deposit of $350. Early pre-order bonus, you get a Globe 3D hologram as seen in the Bumblebee movie. Early pre-order will get a $200 instant rebate. Product shipping will be the third quarter of 2021. This may be one of the most expensive Transformer items in the market ever, but we have to admit that YOLO Park have showed a new level of engineering and sculpting. Will you add this impressive Optimus Prime collectible for your collection? Check out all the new promotional images in our previous news story and let us know your impressions on the 2005 boards.
Come on.
That was pretty good.
That's so much. That's more money than some used cars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 12 inches. I mean, the 3.0 fucking Bumblebee Prime is great.
Yeah, I kind of am surprised by the kind of the write-up that they gave this year when they're like, all this stuff, like, it's a new level of whatever. Like, it's not really, like...
If you find one joint that's the same that you've seen before, you're going to feel cheated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
And like, are you really saying that, like, Flames Toys and stuff hasn't come out and put this, like, level of detail in a toy before, because that's what the news story is saying, right? Like, I don't know. I don't buy it.
Why is it an internal interconnected endoskeleton system, 24 inches?
Like a Gundam?
Yeah, but it said, wait a minute, why is it saying 24 inches when in the description it says it is, I just saw it, that's why I checked the size. Where the fuck is it? The size. 32 centimeters. I thought it was 12 inches.
That
12.5 inches.
Isn't there two of them? The regular and the deluxe.
Well, but that's double the size. You're spending $400 more for twice as big. I guess. I mean, look, 3.0 did that. It's a little bit more expensive, and you can get the deluxe, which is much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's your point. But every joint's got to be different. It's got to. I mean, that much money, you'll never be able to sell that. I mean, who's gonna buy it from you if you want to get rid of it?
Because the people who are gonna want it are gonna want it new, probably. You know,
Yeah.
and if they don't want it new, they're gonna want one of those like fan bro prices, right?
Right.
Come on, hook me up. Give me the fan bro price.
I'm holding the 3.0 Prime right now. Is it you want to get that? Oscar, your
phone's
phone
ringing,
has
Oscar.
gas, man.
Oscar.
I shouldn't have eaten the chalupas. Oh, don't eat Taco Bell for breakfast anymore. Note to self, eat more Raisin Bran. But, I mean, I'm holding the 3.0 Prime right now. And this thing was not cheap. It seems cheap compared to that price.
Definitely.
But the engineering on this is you can't beat this paint and sculpt and engineering. I just can't imagine what level they're going to. You know, I imagine TJ Duckett's probably going to get this. I mean, even I couldn't consider spending this much money on something like this.
It's an awful lot of money that's being asked for this figure. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's too much, and I feel like once you get to that level, it's like, well, like, wouldn't you just kind of go for a statue that can be even more detailed? Like, it doesn't have to have the engineering to kind of quote unquote bring it down. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I mean, yeah. I mean, look. Oh, you want a lot of engineering? So if you spent $2,600 on this, are you even gonna like fucking do anything to move it?
yeah, you're gonna probably be paranoid that anything you do is gonna break the damn thing. I don't know. This is a weird decision to me. It's too much money, and there's so many options out there. Like, was it the 3A? Was that the one that I was messing with at TFCon? I can't remember.
Yeah, the 3.0, yeah.
Yeah,
3.8.
like that one was so impressive. I'm like, okay. So you're telling me that, like, you know, this level of detail hasn't been done before? Like, no way. No way.
Even Lisa, you know, and she doesn't hate my collection at all. She's not like that. But she's not like, ooh, what's that? Generally, you know. But this 3.0 Prime, she was like, what's that? Like, that just drew her attention. That's how good this thing looks. So, I don't know, man. That's just, you know, you know it'd be hilarious if these things go on the if they don't sell out and then retailers end up like putting them on sale.
Clearance. Black Friday sale, 70% off.
That I would be pissed. I would be extra pissed if I spent $2,600 on this and then I saw them for like on sale for $600.
Damn right you
That's
would be.
a lot of money. Oh my god, that's a lot of money. Hold on, let me see what's that in yen.
All right.
Because there's a lot of collectors in Asia.
Your phone went off, Oscar.
No,
Your
did
phone
it?
had gas. USD to yen. That's 280,000 yen. I mean, this is like crazy rich Asians level collecting. And you've got some rich people in China and like serious collectors, so.
Yep, especially when it comes to Gundams.
Guess what? Time to reverse eBay scam, my fellow American collectors. Time to reverse eBay scam. Let's put up some pre-orders. Let's put up some fucking pre-orders. Get your nail clippers and your beads out. You know, let's do it.
Nail clippers.
Send some nail clippers. Send some fucking what do you call it? What are those beads you throw? You throw it with Mardi Gras beads. Let's send some Mardi Gras beads. $2,000 worth of Mardi Gras beads.
Not even.
Not even.
Just send $50 worth of something. Be like, I sent something in the mail. That's how I got the first time I ever got with one of those scams. Is like, they sent you something, didn't they? I'm like, I mean, they did, but it wasn't anything that was ordered. Yeah, gosh.
Boy. Freaking yikes.
Who's getting this? I know TJ Duckett is getting. He gets all the ultimatable, whatever the hell you call it, ultimetal.
Mm-hmm.
He gets all that stuff.
Didn't that have like an endoskeleton on the inside? Yeah. So it's already been done before this endoskeleton thing. I don't know. Whatever.
Is this like, okay, are they just showing you what the engineering looks like, or does he also come with a clear
I feel like he's going to
parts?
come with clear parts just so you can trade things out so you can see the inside. I really wouldn't be surprised to see that. But
it's all been done.
You know, on the other hand, hold on. Maybe not. I'm having a hard time actually seeing if those clear parts are just like kind of renders in place and not actually a clear part. Like the whole thing is a render. So that's a good question. That's a good question. Because it would be a bitch to like swap out half of his head.
I wouldn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. Oh, but look, he has a matrix chamber. What a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Wow. I just don't see the money.
No.
I don't see the money in it. Not unless this thing fucking walks and talks.
Mm-hmm.
And they even came out with one of those. If this thing can call the Autobots to Earth, I'm down. I'll do it. You know? Like, he just fucking pushes a button on you. He's like, what's this button do on his back? And all of a sudden, his eyes light up, and he's like, calling all Autobots, come to Earth. And he fucking touches a button on his arm, and then little meteors hit the Earth, and there's more of these little guys. and I get charged for it. And I get charged for it. That's cool. They let him be in orbit, and they get delivered to me by meteor. This guy better be delivered to me by, like, flaming meteor.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I have to have a Peterbilt nearby, so that when the protoform scans nearby, it scans the Peterbilt. Because if it's like fucking Cheetor instead, I'll be like, no. What if Bumblebee?
Hey, Robert, my name's Cheetor. You shut your mouth. Start spraying him with spray. Get off the couch.
Oh my God! Last night, I don't know how this happened. I'm laying in bed, and I felt something. This sounds gross. I felt something big and like hard under my leg, and like it was moving under my leg. My legs are not light, and I look and I see. I'm like, oh my God, it's a fucking roach, like a big one. I'm like, how the hell did I get in my house? Because I don't have roaches. And I put my Lisa's sleeping. I put the cell phone light on, and it looks like a murder hornet. It is like an inch long, but there's no wings on it, and it is crawling around. And I'm like, ah! I started screaming. Lisa wakes up. She almost had a heart attack, and I'm just like a little bitch curled up on the bed, like, kill it, kill it, kill it. And then she ended up putting a cup over it, and it was on a blanket. She turned it upside down, and it was just upside down on the blanket in the cup. It wouldn't shake off. So then she crushed it against the inside of the cup, and it was so hard, you heard a crack. And then it was just spazzing out at the bottom of the cup, like dying slowly for like 5 minutes. This thing was huge. So I don't know what brought that up, but that was horrendous. And then she felt guilty that she killed it. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, what am I saying? I couldn't even move. I was paralyzed.
That's interesting story. I will.
I think they're called wasp beetles. I was trying to look it up. They're beetles that look like giant wasps, and they're colored to be like black and yellow stripes, but they're actually beetles, and they're big, but they bite, but they're generally very gentle. Now in my house, they're fucking dead.
Mm-hmm.
So because there was a crazy storm here yesterday. There was like a giant hailstorm actually, and it might have gotten blown in from frickin' Syria or something. I don't know. There was a crazy storm. But yeah, that was quite an event. I haven't seen hail in years, but we got pelted with hail. So we got hail from the heavens, giant wasps, locusts, plagues. You know, I'm just waiting for my bathtub to turn red, and that's it. That's all, folks. Matt's gone. At least something's good. But anyway, where were we? Yes. And $3,000 non-transforming transformers that don't do anything different.
We somehow segue to murder hornets or beetle roach, wasp roaches.
Well, you know what? Instead of swap out hands, his hands just move. Yeah.
Speaking of wasp roaches, we have our Transformers movie masterpiece, MPM 11 Ratchet package designs. And yeah. I'm going to add, what is...
Something tells me the resale value is really not going to be too good on this one.
You know, I don't know if I recall seeing it, but look at the picture of him in robot mode and all the shit behind his head that's just angled backwards. I don't recall seeing that in the actual movie. You know, I don't know.
It looks like you're invading his privacy. He's like, stop looking at me! What are you looking at? You look at a really ugly person and you're kind of like, whoa, and they know that you're looking at them because they're really fucking ugly. That's the look on his face. Yeah, what are you looking at?
I can't even tell, his hand on, the right side looks like it's made out of, an engine, kind of. Is that even a hand? Is he holding a gun? What is that?
I thought his hand was palm up, and he just had kibble to the side, but now I see the gun. Maybe that's the way he holds his gun. It's a different kind of gun. It's a palm-up gun.
Mm-hmm. And his tiny little blades that you have to get super-duper close.
He's like, I'm going to blend your face. Sit still.
Just running around your house with your Vitamix with the top part off, just whirling into people. Get over here.
They call me the juicer.
I
wiped my face with the wrong hand.
It's like we discussed the other week. There is an audience for this now. There's people that were not crazy about the actual retail releases of these figures, and now we have masterpiece versions, right? There's that Jazz I talk about, I'm not sure if I want to pull the trigger on yet or not.
Looks good. If you're into that, get it. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks better than the Human Alliance Jazz, which was, Of course, if you're into the studio series, you're looking at your figures getting smaller and smaller and smaller after every wave, I swear to God. But yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. I picked up, when I was with my nephew at Walmart this past weekend, I picked up the Studio Series Roadbuster because I like the Human Alliance version of that figure. He had this insane amount of weapons, and this one doesn't do it. It really just doesn't do it.
He has insane weapons.
He does, but they're not I don't know. They weren't as, doesn't have very intimidating robot mode. But the Jazz looks good. It looks sleek-ish. Whereas Ratchet here looks like they grabbed an they basically grabbed a bunch of toothpicks, slathered it in glue, and threw a bunch of broken metal and painted it green and called it a day.
I love how it looks like he's wearing ripped jeans. See his legs. He's got a lot of little mirrors or lights, whatever the hell those are. Don't look at me, look in the mirror. Have a seat on the seat sitting off of my back.
He's got more stuff on him than the Human Alliance shit had hanging off of him, and they had to accommodate little seats and stuff,
It's almost as if when they were designing this and they kept going back to the drawing board and like, yeah, but what about all this kibble? And at some point they were like, look, fuck it. Does it really matter? Do you think anyone gives a shit? Look at this guy.
They're like, listen, I have it on good authority that we've already secured Matthew Deluxe Baldwin's pre-order. So we're okay. We're fine. People love that guy.
This guy basically bought my wife a third house. This is great.
Wait a minute. Okay. What's up with around his chest? Did they just not bother to finish transforming him? Is it like the?
Oh yeah, you see the one side is up and the other is down. Yeah, something is off there for sure.
Does that move with his arms? That'd be hilarious if that shit moves with his arms. Oh my god. Oh my god. They're just like, fuck it. They're like, how does this go? Fuck it. Does it make a difference? Do you think anyone's gonna notice? It took staring at this thing for 5 minutes to even notice that those things are both cockwise, backwards, one side's up, one side's down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. You know what though? There is a market for this, and for people who are happy to get the Baver. There is a lot of good Bay versus MPM stuff. I don't understand why the aftermarket doesn't seem so good. Because the B was good. It was. The Prime's good. I didn't get the Ironhide. I was tempted to, but I saw it had issues, and I was like, at that point, I was just like, I can't just go in on another line. But I'm tempted to get the Starscream because it's Starscream, but I'm not going to because I don't have the room. They're all tempting. This thing is crazy bad. It's really funny. I don't know. Hasbro was like, "What's our model?" And it was like, year after year, just decrease what we give them and increase the price. Start with Ratchet. Like, what's under his arm? What's in his armpits? I can't even tell what's arm and. Who cares? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel bad, because I hope it's just the figure, and I don't want to see the MPM line go south in terms of what they give you, because so far everything else seems good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
I hope it's
get
a
what you
one-off.
mean. I'm trying to figure out if he's transformed. Let's see. that picture not on the box is definitely wrong.
There.
Honestly, looking at the actual box art, it looks like something's wrong there too. It doesn't look like the door or the front of the car lines up the same way on the side you can see as the other side. See how that one square's vertical compared. This is on the actual box where you see the vehicle and the robot mode. See how the chest panel closest to us is kind of angled forward, and it kind of goes right above those fog lights on the front, and then follow that line over to the other side, and the other one's just straight up. You would get it right there.
With the arms. They move with the arms, I think.
Yeah,
so you've got to reposition them every time. But you notice the backpack.
Go ahead, sorry.
The backpack that in the image we saw, the kibble actually folds down over his shoulders. There's rhyme or reason to it,
Mm-hmm.
It's a little seat for Chip to sit terrified, realizing he can't move, can't go anywhere.
Whoa. No. You mean Sam Witwicky.
Mm-hmm.
I meant Chip.
You mean Chip is already crippled, my friend. Why would you do such a thing?
That's why he can't go anywhere. He's just stuck up there no, what a bad way to go on this ugly piece of shit.
It really is. I mean, it's a lot like anchovies on pizza, man. There's people that have a taste for it. So
there was one time I ever enjoyed anchovies on pizza, and I was in college, and I was wrecked, and I loved it. And I feel like this is the same thing. It's the best analogy. If I was really drunk, I'd probably think this thing was beautiful. But you have a better view of his gun there, Justin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it there.
Still can't see his hand. Neither of the hands. I wonder what they're hiding.
I just could see a lot of robot kibble underneath that vehicle mode. If you want to call it that. But no, I'm kidding. I did add something to the notes. It's called the Transformers Red Line.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Good call.
So I got this from an article from IGN.com, by Seth Macy. So basically what these are, right now I'm aware of 3, unless they announced a 4th one. They're basically, they're 6-inch figures, and they're called the Robot Enhanced Design. That's what RED stands for, RED. They come with interchangeable parts and accessories. So basically, like in the case of Megatron, you have to, let me simplify this for everyone. They're Marvel Legends, excuse me, designed to be like Transformers. They obviously don't transform. They're my friend Justin Lynette called them Action Master 2.0. As to if they're gonna have any sort of gimmicks, from what I can see in these photos, Optimus Prime has a very visible matrix of leadership. Megatron comes with his mace and flail. They come with interchangeable hands, like a finger point, like an open one, probably a clenched fist. They look to be posable, not like Rebel Tech level of posable, but posable nevertheless.
Ab crunch. You see an ab crunch on Megatron.
Yep.
It looks like the feet are ball jointed, so you get a tilt, but not too much of one.
Yeah. So I mean, these are what I'm going to call flat out what they're going to be for a lot of people: desk bots. Like if you have a job like me where you have to go and you have a desk but not really an office, this is what you would post on there. And they look really good. They really do.
This is the type of thing that I could definitely see at least getting a favorite character. But it's the kind of thing, like, if these were kind of on par with, like Marvel Legends in terms of cost, like a $20 cost, like, I could kind of see getting, like, like, I don't think I would get every single character. Like if you made Brawn, I wouldn't feel like I need Outback. But, like, if I was like, okay, here's my movie bots, here's my arc bots, here's the cons, done.
Now, would you expect, right? Because these are very tune accurate, right? So would you expect the bots in the tune that looked funny, but that was just the nature of how they looked, which I always liked, like Hoist or even what's his face? Why do I keep forgetting his name? The tank. I never remember his name.
Warpath.
Warpath. Why do I never remember that? I always think Blammo. Warpath or oh my god, I'm terrible. Oh my god, not Spindrift. What's his name? What's the
transform into?
The hover Sea Spray, Warpath, or Hoist, or even Cosmos. Like, would you want them to be screen accurate to a quote unquote fault where they just look like they did in the cartoon? I mean, I would.
Yeah, I would. And I want, like, this to me is the perfect opportunity that all this stuff should 100% scale. Like, this should be, like, the de facto scale. Like, I don't care if it's $20. I mean, I guess I would kind of care. No, I wouldn't care if it was $20 for a Bumblebee who's supposed to be really small, but you have to, like, make it a worthwhile $20 purchase, Like, maybe with Bumblebee you throw in, like, a tiny little spike or something like that. Things like that.
Or
but
maybe like an extra head having a different type of emote,
exactly.
As far as I know,
if you make it worth the cost, then no, I have no problems with that. But they absolutely need to scale, and I want them to be ridiculous looking, like, G1 ridiculous looking. Absolutely.
Yeah. What if like Bumblebee came with Spike and like Hound came with Cliff Jumper? Like, what if they did stuff like that?
Yeah.
Where the price stays around the same, but they kind of make them sets.
I'm okay with
it.
The
larger ones are more expensive. You know what they should do with the bigger ones? I mean, these are leader class, right? But the big boys should be build-a-figures.
Yep.
That would be interesting too.
Yeah, like a build-a-figure Omega Supreme. That'd be kind of cool.
But that could justify why a smaller bot would be the same price because he comes with a bath part.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
There's ways you can make it work. It could be really fun.
I don't.
Yeah, but then
I don't want them. I don't want them to have baths. No. I'm sorry. Like, I have had it up to here. That's what got me out of the Marvel Legend game was, they have the chase figure. I understand why they fucking do that, and frankly, I just don't care for it. So these on their own are going to be great. So far, the three they announced is Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Soundwave.
But let me kind of counter the Build-A-Figure thing, like, because I understand not wanting the Build-A-Figures, and I don't like when you lock certain characters behind Build-A-Figures. Like, to me, the Build-A-Figure needs to be like the old school, like Galactus, big Build-A-Figure,
let's do Devastator, for example.
Exactly, like that would be the perfect example of something I think you lock behind a Build-A-Figure, where you get each one, you get a piece of the Constructicons that go to make, your Devastator. Like, that to me does not bother me. Like like it does when you're just kind of like who did they have? I know Marvel Legends did it recently. Was it like Strong Guy or something like that?
Yeah, they did the X-Force wave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like why do you do like a regular size character as a Build-A-Figure? Like that bums me out. Like I don't want to see like you buy all these and you get Sideswipe. You know, like no.
Well, how about that's another thing though. Like the combining teams, they could sell the Action Master version of the bot and then the BAF part for Devastator, say.
That's kind of cool. I could do that. Yeah.
Combine mode BAF part, so it's less random and it doesn't transform.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you just combine them. That's kind of interesting.
They have an opportunity, and this is like for my fellow artistic friends that are, especially those of you that are into 3D modeling, you have a good opportunity here to have the definitive reference piece for your 3D models with these pieces. You know, it's sad because the fandom is the fandom. You literally can predict what they're going to say right before they say it. Everyone's like, I hope they make a sound wave. And they're like, well, those cassettes better be transformable. Why?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it should come one of two ways: as a cassette or already as a posable little robot. The transformation needs to be taken out. That's the point of this shit.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, make a little tiny posable robot and just give me a little cassette I can slap in his chest. Fine with that.
Yeah.
Done. No problems.
So, but
interesting.
I just thought it was worth putting in the notes because it's kind of like it's like Justin Lynette says. Shout out to you, Justin Lynette. You know, he called it Action Master 2.0, which is something I always wanted. Like I called it the photo friendly series, right? Because you could like really take nice photos with these type of robots and shit.
Imagine customizing them.
Dude, I'm already telling you right now how many people are gonna buy this to make like a Nemesis Prime, Shattered Glass Prime, an Ultra Magnus,
or just paint them up real sick. You know, even just regular Prime, right?
Yeah, you could do cell shading on these things, battle damage. You know, if you're willing to go at it with a Dremel, you could do, you know, on his deathbed Optimus Prime, which, speaking of deathbed, Amazon just put up the pre-order for the all-gray Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime for those interested. Gasp. Girl. Time of this.
No more Primes.
Yeah, by the time this gets released, there won't be any more.
So, you know, one question I have, though, because they're so tune accurate, does this scratch that itch? Do MPs need to be so clean and tune accurate?
They kind of, their MP Plus line has been kind of reaching that, and I kind of like it. That's why I'm going so gaga over it. That's why I love Hound. That's why I think Hound is a great masterpiece figure. Is he kind of a pain, I guess, in the neck? Sure, but there's a way to do it, I guess, without breaking him, and I'm going to discover it.
That's you breaking.
Shut up, motherfucker. No.
Oh, MGO, I need you.
MGO, I need your transformation videos.
Palm in your face.
Palm in your... Fun note, I did message him on Twitter to see if he'd like to do an interview with me and maybe put it on the podcast with his permission. He turned me down.
What do you mean?
He turned me down. He said he doesn't do interviews. He's just too busy.
Mm-hmm.
So I sit there and I was like, well, how about doing some voice work? He's like, nope, sorry. And I wanted to end it with, how about we go out and get a beer?
Where you like show me Bob's and Vagine? How about a dick pic? You gotta keep it going. Keep asking for things.
Would you like a mushroom stamp on your phone?
Lock in your face.
Penis. So yeah, he is clearly too busy. So either way, it's, you know, like I said, he seems like a straight down good guy. He wasn't a jerk when he turned me down. He was just like, yeah, I'm just too busy. I'm really sorry. I'm like, it's fine. So, you know, kudos to him.
Kudos to him for turning you down. You're so nice. Life is really busy at the GameStop right now, buddy. Sorry.
The GameStop. All right, so we all seen the red line. We're gonna wait to see what happens. They come out in September. They are a Walmart exclusive, so
that's a shame because Walmart around here doesn't have toys. So.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I need to get one of them ghost traps that they have, the Ghostbusters ghost trap, because It works with the pedal, and I want that.
Must have it.
I don't $50 want it. I $20 plus shipping want it. And they don't have it on their website either. Fucking bastards.
Yeah, I could check the ones up here by me this weekend.
Please do.
No problem.
We know.
So let's move on to our questions. Robert, do you want to read the questions?
Oh, sure. Matthew Bloom asks, who are your favorite non-Cool Table Network toy reviewers? And what are some of your non-toy related YouTube channels?
That's a pretty good question. Who wants to go first?
I will. My favorite non-Cool Table Network toy reviewer is T2RX6.
Oh.
You're not in the Cool Table Network, are you?
No, I guess not. So.
I guess not.
I think I've been voted out. So.
Matthew Baldwin. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really watch too many toy reviews anymore. I don't have time. Like, I'm gonna give the M go. I'm too busy at the GameStop. I'm sorry. You know, if I want to see a transformation, I'll watch T2RX6. If I want to see someone break a toy and someone I love, I'll watch Matthew. If I want to see someone just break a toy and I can tease later, I'll watch Bobby.
But he's Cool Table.
Oh, he is Cool Table, so nope.
You can't watch him no more.
Nope, I can't watch him anymore. Unsub.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Justin?
That's got to be an awkward episode of Four Dummies.
So we'll address it one question at a time. So, favorite non-Cool Table Network toy reviewers. What about you, Justin?
So for toys, I have a couple that I enjoy watching. I like Retro Blasting. I think that's a great channel. They do a lot of like restorations of old figures, things like that. The host he takes offense to the YouTube populace, which, you know, I understand how he feels, but like I do sometimes feel like you kind of just have to let it go. But his channel's way bigger than mine, so you know, what can I do? So I like him, and through him I ended up finding Analog Toys. They do a lot of like British and European things that never came out here, so it's just kind of interesting to see like the history of like Action Force versus like G.I. Joe, things like that. Very cool channels. I like those a lot. And Toy Galaxy, I think is what they go by.
Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just kind of, you know, I found them maybe like 4 months ago, something like that. I'm like, this is a good channel. This is a good channel.
It really is a good channel. That is charisma personified.
Yeah, I wish I was the good reviewer as them. So, you know, but that's my toys that are outside the Cool Table Network. Outside of them, I don't even watch that many other, like, I don't really follow the Transformers reviewers. I mean, I got to give a shout out to Pia, like, who I don't watch nearly as much anymore because he made his channel a kids channel, which I don't understand why he would do that, but okay. So,
and guess what about Pia, Justin?
What's that?
He doesn't listen to us either.
I know. But he's a nice guy, so I cannot give him a hard time. Like, he really is a nice guy, and he has a good channel. I do wish that it was not for kids, so I could actually get notifications. Like, well, that's the stupidest thing ever, that YouTube like can't get notifications. Like, my fucking kid loves watching certain things. Why can't I get a fucking notification when they post a new goddamn thing? You know, like, what a ridiculous feature. I can't subscribe, or I can't get a notification. You know, like, fuck you. Yeah. Stupid.
All because of some, they're not stupid things. They caught some stuff and they're backpiling. They got caught. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, whatever. Then
you know who's also nice? You know who's a nice guy is Balt Matrix. I met him at the last con.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. So
I interviewed him back in the day on the Ozone. Very nice guy.
I do occasionally check out Balt Matrix's channel because like he gets like a bunch of the weird knockoffs, and I kind of have that I have that like morbid, like I kind of want to see this. Like I don't have any urge to own this, but I kind of want to see what this is all about because, you know.
I think the weirdest thing I've ever seen him review was probably the ABC combiner. They were literal. They look like the blocks you put on the fridge, you know, so the kids can play with it and stuff.
Yeah.
And they actually combine into a giant fucking
I
robot.
remember seeing that on his channel. So.
And it's, you know, and it's very nice. Like, I love watching his Beast Wars stuff for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good in his Beast Wars stuff.
And he's done it too. Like, he's turned his channel into kids only. And like, I guess you're just afraid that it's gonna come.
He's changing it. He is changing it. Some of his videos allow comments. I get notifications on new stuff that he releases if he marks it not made for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's a lot of people did this because they're nervous. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
They think they're going to get popped by Copa.
Yeah, I know. I mean, definitely as a content creator, that's gone through my head too. But like, I'm like, whatever. Like, I review toys that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You know, like, I'm not generally reviewing the mainline Hasbro stuff. So, you know, I don't know. I think it's a stupid thing, like, because, you know, and like I've always kind of said, like, well, if you're going to go ahead and say that anybody who's reviewing a toy is, you know, like, making content for kids, then, like, what about, like, all the music video channels and stuff like that? Like, you know, now you have to suddenly go ahead and, like, police, like, your Miley Cyruses and stuff who have kid fans, you know, like, come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take it away from toys just because it says toys, you know. It's stupid. So, whatever. And that is why my channel is not for kids. So.
What about you, Oscar?
Non-network reviewer, obviously T2RX6, number one. MGO, definitely MGO. Palmania, and there he is. And we're looking at the box, and we've got big here, we got big and that does for the packaging.
Same as the first.
Second verse, same as the first. So yeah, I watch a lot of MGO. I've been watching. He has a nice series called Just Transform It, which you should probably pick up on, Justin, since you're really patient with that shit. Because again, I watched Justin's review on MP44. I felt like throwing my laptop across the room at that explosion of fucking chest bits.
You know, I did that before. I did, like, to get my videos under so many minutes. I'm like, okay, here's like the review, like kind of like a little articulation rundown, and then I will post the just the transformations. And like one half just got like no views. I'm like, it's just not worth my time, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, that's kind of like how I feel about like my whole channel half the time. I'm just like, nobody watches it. Like, why am I killing myself? So I got two Ghostbusters things I got to do, and like since the next shipment's coming out, I'm gonna get that up, and we'll go from there. So
right on. And non-toy reviewers I like to watch on YouTube. I'm a big fan of like horror, true crime type of stuff, you know. So I do watch a lot of like Rob Gavigan, formerly known as Rob Dyke. He does a lot of true crime stuff. I also do like watching a guy whose YouTube handle is That Chapter. A lot of true crime stuff on that too. I like to watch Toy Galaxy with Dan. I like to watch Pixel Dan also. I like to watch the Foosh once in a while to get my appetite wet. Like, oh, what kind of non-transforming figures are coming out? What's it going to be like? Blah blah blah. And so I like to check that out also. There's a lot of different type of channels. I like Cyanide and Happiness, Film Cow, obviously. I really love their sense of humor. Really takes me back. They're the guys who created Charlie the Unicorn, as some people know. So yeah, it's there's a few different. You know, obviously I watch Bobby Skullface. I did comment recently because I was thinking about jumping in on that Final Victory War Machine, which is their Warpath.
Oh boy, yeah.
And
yeah. Oh, yeah,
I watched that and I was just like, that's a big nope. Because he's like, yeah, we just got to put this pin back in. I was like, nah, dude, nope, ain't happening. Then he had the Stress Mark song. I'm like, nope, this dude just played the Stress Mark song twice. Nope, I'm good. Don't need it.
Stress Marks.
I got
What
this.
if-
Just,
Okay.
but
What about non-toy related YouTube channels?
I just mentioned some.
What about you, Justin?
This one's easy for me. I mean, for the longest time, and I'm sure like many of us, I've watched the Angry Video Game Nerd. Like, who does not like James? He's good.
I don't know. Ask the internet now. Trust me, a lot more people will raise their hands.
Well, I'm still sticking with it.
Made
So-
that movie. Ugh.
Yeah, I was okay with it. It's fine, you know. I mean, given his love for like crappy movies and stuff like that, you know, like old obscure movies. Like I get it. I get why it was how it is. Like I don't mind it. But so I still like that. I like Scott the Woz. He's like, I'm like, this kid. Like I saw one of his videos somewhere. Like was recommended to me. I'm like, whatever, I'll watch it. It was on some topic I wanted. I'm like, this kid, like, you know, like he's obviously very young, you know, comparatively. And I was like, I watched it. I'm like, this is I don't know. This is like really low production. Like it feels low production, but like there's obviously a lot of effort that goes into making this stuff. And like the more I watch him, like he's pretty funny. Like I can't stop watching this. I'm like, I really enjoy this. So I very much enjoy Scott the Woz videos. What else? Take a quick look onto the YouTube here and see what else do I have that I really enjoy watching. Oh, Game Theorist. I like that channel. That's a good channel. Re-Rez is another video game related channel. They have a series called It's Just Bad, and they bring these like bad video games. Like, did you see the Batman one, Oscar?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Like Alfred, I'm stuck again.
Their Superman one was good too.
Yes.
I'll just take this innocent person over here.
Yeah, every single one of those videos just has me like cracking up. So I love Re-Rez. I highly recommend Re-Rez to anyone. Yeah, that's probably one of my very favorite channels. Like every time they're like we got a worst of, or it's just bad. I'm like, okay, time to stop what I'm doing and let's get on to watching this. So, oh man, I love that channel.
Yeah, Robert, you need to watch that. It's just bad. You really do.
Re-Rez? I will.
Yeah, it's
just bad. It's perfect.
So good.
Him and his co-host, that's good chemistry right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They
like
did
at
the
first
Aquaman
I wasn't really sure when he got the co-host. I'm like, I don't know, like, but like, yeah, I mean, like, it is well done. I would absolutely love to, you know, sit down and have a beer with that man, like, 'cause it's just his stuff is so funny. It's so good. So, and then like, you know, he has good stuff too, like good just reviews and things. And when he has just like he did some like those like clone consoles, you know, like the fake like PSP or Vita or whatever, like the fake video game consoles, and like, it's so funny. It's so good. So good.
Yep, I've seen him too at the Soldier Boy set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh God, that one was good too. So good. Yeah. Re-Rez is definitely up there as one of my favorites of all time.
We have way too much in common, Justin. It's
well, why do you think we enjoy each other and you know?
That's why we fuck. Yeah, I'm
right.
just gonna say it. That's why we fuck.
Come out with it.
I'm surprised you didn't say, Justin.
Was that?
I'm surprised you didn't say.
What's that?
Ashens.
So I like Ashens. Okay, don't get me wrong, but his channel, like, it hasn't had the same impact that it used to have for me. You know, like, does that make sense? Like, I feel like a lot of what he's done has changed recently. Like, I loved when he did the shitty video game consoles and stuff like that, like the shitty knockoff systems. And now I'm like, what happened to those? Like, why do we not do them anymore? Like, I don't know. And like, I guess they're harder to find now. Like, that's probably the reason why. But like, I don't know. Like, I like Ashens, but like, I kind of don't care about seeing you eat old ass food. You know,
I
like,
love it. People send him like random nasty shit to eat, and he eats it. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that to me, that doesn't really do anything for me. Is the thing, I guess. You know, like, so like, I don't find that to be like fun, engaging content. So that's kind of why he's kind of fallen off. Like, I still watch his stuff, almost every single thing he posts. but it's not the same. So yeah, it feels bad saying that though, because like he is a good YouTuber, and yeah, what can you do?
Since the pandemic, I've been watching a lot of Jim Gaffigan's YouTube channel. And Jim Gaffigan, the stand-up comic?
I've heard of him once or twice.
Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets. So he lives in New York City, and he's been under quarantine as well. And he started doing a show called Let's Get Cooking. And it's just laced with dad jokes. And he's with his family, and he just pretends he's the chef, and he makes the most mundane things like toast, or like he once made oatmeal soup, which was just like terrible oatmeal, or like hot dogs, corn, peas and corn. And he says, "Let's get cooking." Like, it's just nonstop. It's something about it. It's just got me. I even ordered "Let's Get Cooking" T-shirts, so
Nice.
they're coming. It's very entertaining, and I watch that. Whenever a new Let's Get Cooking comes out, we jump on it. Now everybody watches it. I want a Let's Get Cooking apron, but don't have it yet. They didn't make one yet. And what else? I watch a lot of like ancient civilization stuff. So it's not one specific YouTube channel, but like Joe Rogan, I'll watch anytime he has a Graham Hancock or Randall Carlson on. I'll definitely watch that and listen to it a few times because there's so much information in there. You have to actually listen a few times to absorb it all. At least I do. And I watch a lot of like foodie things, like travel food, like people who travel the world and eat street foods, like Strictly Dumpling and Mark Wiens and stuff. And I get a kick out of their reactions because they just act like everything's fucking delicious. Even if something's disgusting, their first gut reaction is to act like it's delicious, and then as they chew it, you realize it's probably disgusting. But depending if I'm hungry or not, it's like food porn. If I'm hungry, then I enjoy watching it. But that's about it on my end. Just like side note, if anybody's interested, do a YouTube search for Mauritania and the Richat structure, RICHAT. And it is mind-opening, mind-blowing, eye-opening, actually. So it could be mind-opening. But interesting stuff. Like, just for example, like, we talk about, 10,000 years, 10,000 BC, around then was the end of an ice age. It was a very abrupt end. And now we have an idea of why it ended, that it seems to be due to comet impacts that caused like the glaciers to melt and whatnot, and cause these intense floods. And what's interesting is, we believe that, humanity did not have, we weren't civilized yet. We were still hunter-gatherers back then. But there, in Turkey, they discovered something called Göbekli Tepe, and they discussed that on Joe Rogan a lot too. And it dates back, I believe, like something around 10,000, 12,000 BC. And it's this insane city that was intentionally buried. This is all like, this isn't even conspiracy theory stuff, but it just overturns all understanding of archaeology. Göbekli Tepe is a really interesting thing. So, I look a lot into like, human history and stuff. I just find that stuff interesting. I also like, what's that guy's name? Oh God, I forget his name. Fuck it. Whatever. Stuff about space too. But that's it. And
how about Neil deGrasse Tyson?
That's him. Yes. He's funny as fuck.
Okay.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's funny. That's it.
I probably just butchered this man's name, but I don't care.
That is his name. Okay, so we have another question. All right. From TJ Prudence asks, what character in the Transformers lore do you find the most obnoxious? I'm interested to see how it pans out between robots and human characters, as the characters I tend to dislike are fellow Homo sapiens. Peace out, TJ.
Okay. Why don't you go first, Robert?
Who do I find the most obnoxious?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say it for Matt's sake. Starscream. Starscream. You know what I think is obnoxious? Megatron. I think Megatron's obnoxious because he's actually, you know, across all the seasons, he sucked as a leader because he would always just retreat every time. He would have a grand plan and then fucking suck it out and lose and just Decepticons retreat. It was just always retreat, always retreat. He never wins. You know, I think that's what sucks about him. So yeah, that's my answer. What about you, Oscar? Hello,
Oscar.
What about you, Justin?
So
Guys.
there's so many like obvious choices, but the one that always kind of irritated me the most was always Mirage. I just never liked Mirage as a character.
Mirage?
Exactly. I'm just like, oh, Mirage, like you just irritate the
Useless.
ever-loving hell out of me. You know, like I don't know. I just never cared for Mirage, but
Barely used his ability. You could be invisible.
Exactly.
You could fucking execute all the Decepticons, you
Uh-huh.
idiot.
Yeah, he could, I mean, you could stop pretty much anything that happened, and you just didn't. You would just always be Mr. Howell from fucking Gilligan's Island, you know, like. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, right? Like he's 100% Mr. Howell. So, I don't know. I never cared for Mirage. He always just kind of, to me, I felt he was an irritating character. Yeah, so. Mirage is definitely on my list of
I can
characters
agree
I
with
dislike.
that.
Yeah, good. Okay.
I totally agree with that.
Hi, Oscar.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
What irritated me? Hold on. What
Sorry, I was
irritated
talking
me
to
too
Wolf.
was Astro Train because he always just succeed. It was Megatron saying let's retreat, and Astro Train and because of him they can get away every fucking time.
Astro Train got treated like that one friend in high school that got his license.
Yeah.
You know? Yo, where do you want to go for that? Let's go to pizzeria. Okay, hey man, you can drive us to pizzeria. And your friend's like, man, fuck you guys. You're not even my friends. You're only my friends because I have a car.
They would always use him to get away, but you would think they would use him to blitz an attack. They get in the train, crash into the Autobots, and then attack. Never did. What about you, Oscar? Who annoyed you?
You know, there's the running joke. I'm not a fan of Wheelie. It gets annoying hearing someone that every time they speak they rhyme. Like it was different for Roadblock, but it was like extra annoying for Wheelie. But
well, so Wheelie was like my obvious choice one. Like he is freaking annoying. Like without a doubt, he's an annoying character. But
I'm
yeah,
kind of not trying to be too cliche. You know, that's why I didn't say, you know, Wheelie up front. So, I mean, if I had to choose a really annoying character, like one I wish would get get their face shot off, would have to be every human child character from the Unicron trilogy series. Like, Jesus Christ, where are the parents for these children that they're cool with them hanging out with these large, like they're gone for long periods of time too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they're out there in the middle of the desert, like you don't see a dad driving up like, hey, Kicker, what's going on, buddy?
What? Maybe you should go home, do your homework.
Maybe we should talk. Is there something going on? Who are these people? What's going on, son? Dad, I can't talk right now. We got to stop Megatron. Right, yeah, look, you see that in your sleep. I think you're traumatized, probably because of your friends. Let's get in the car, son. Let's talk about this. Come on. You know I'm here for you. Dad, you still get me, man. I've got to stop Megatron. So is Megatron code for weed or something? Are you taking the pot? I don't understand. Kicker. Like, why did I let your mom name you Kicker? That's name so fucking stupid. Oh, it just doesn't make sense for me.
All right.
There's so many instances where it's like, I think it was Energon. I watched Energon. And they're like, can we come to Prime? And he just looks down at these kids and goes, and I'm like, say no, they're children. Of course, you're part of the team. Why would you say that?
Yep.
Give me your face, bitch.
This seems like a totally reasonable thing.
You know, like, of course your children can come. You can come along on this trip. You'll be fine. We'll put you all over Jetfire's wings. Operation Human Shield. Like, it doesn't make fucking sense, dude. Like, there's just so many times where it's like, why are these robots sitting there going, yeah, look, all I got to do is so much as have a knee-jerk reflex, and I can probably put you in a fucking 3-year coma. Get out of the way of the line of fire, you know? Or, man, it's the whole, like, I think it was Armada where the girl fell in love with Starscream. Or they were trying to sell it like that. They became close. Yeah, some nonsense like that was just like, yeah, that didn't. I don't know, it just felt weird, man. But you know, each his own. This is Japan we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
No, I can agree with you on those aspects, Oscar. I agree. So I would be interested to know. I mean, I feel like that has to be the obvious reason. Like our listener said, they don't like the humans, and you know, I'd be interested to know specifically their take on it. But I feel like that has to be kind of in line with that, right? So
it's like there's Unicron, the Chaos Bringer. Looks like we're all down. We're down to the wire now. Hey, Optimus Prime, can we come and help? Of course.
Can you come help? I've already set up a place for you to watch. It's on the end of my gun.
Sit here inside the barrel of my gun.
I put this really cool seat on the front of my gun. I thought it would help you get a good view.
It's like, seriously, like, these are like really young kids, and it's like there's Unicron fighting Primus, and it's like, we got to go up there and stop them, guys. Can we come too, Optimus? Yeah, we're part of a team. Hey, you're right, we are part of a team. Come on, kids, let's do this. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yes, you can bite his wires.
Hey, Optimus, we're floating away. I know. Just float, kid. Look at the stars.
Nice knowing you.
You little bastard. Or I think it was RAD. They called it robots in disguise, but in Japan it was car robots.
Mm-hmm.
Where the one sideways? No. Sideburn.
The sideways was the motorcycle, wasn't it? Oh no, wait, no. Yeah. Sorry.
That was Armada.
Sideburn, yeah.
His name is Sideburns?
His name is Sideburn. Yeah, he's the blue car. He had a thing for this woman in her, not the woman, but he had a thing for this woman's red sports car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, meanwhile, like, the woman's like, why? I don't know, man. Like, I get it. It was comedy relief, but still, it used to really irk me a lot when I would watch that shit.
Yeah, I never really loved RID. Like, the thing that I didn't like about RID is, like, it felt very much like it was trying to be, like, you know, like a Super Sentai type show. Whereas, like, you know, we gotta talk about every single one of our moves and shout them out, and you know, like
shout out.
Super Razor whatever kick. It's like, can we not do that?
Oh my god, okay. I gotta give shout outs to the old Jackie Chan Adventures cartoon. They had a character that was voiced by the legendary Jim Cummings, who's a legendary who was like one of the most prolific voice actors, probably surpassed by only, you know, Frank Welker. He voiced this guy who was like this hitman hired by the big bads. And every time he did a move, he would announce me like, monkey fist flying attack, you know, and like, or super donkey backwards kick, right? And there's and this guy's kicking Jackie Chan's ass. So Jackie Chan has, of course, an uncle in this cartoon series. Like, he has in all his movies. Oh, uncle. So friggin', you know, then there was that scene where he kicked Jackie's ass. In comes Uncle, and he just goes, monkey flying fist attack, and he misses. He's like, whoa, what's going on? And he's like, oh, super mule backside kick. Ah! And he misses. Like, I keep missing. This is impossible. My attacks are flawless. He's like, mm-hmm. And, you know, the uncle's like, uh-huh, yeah, try one more time. And then freaking, he's like, oh, double front kick of doom. And he's like, thank you for sharing. And then counters, kicks the shit out of the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the guy's like, what's going on? I was like, you keep announcing what you're going to do. It's getting really old and really predictable. You know, and then that's what that reminds me of. Is like, they're announcing their attacks. Why can't the villain's like, oh, he's going to do a super star blast. Let me move to the left, and dodged it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not a problem.
So, yeah. But I think we're wrapped up on the old questions there. So be sure. No, I didn't ask him. So next week,
this is horrible.
We could have TJ's been asking questions for Sancho, so maybe TJ can go ahead and do that. TJ Prudence, not TJ Omega, because he doesn't listen either. Matter of fact, TJ Prudence doesn't listen either. So, no, I'm kidding.
Maybe TJ Duckett can chime in. Oh, he doesn't listen either.
That'd be fun getting a question from him.
Make it happen, TJ.
Listen.
I know you listen.
Does he listen?
Not to. I don't know. Probably
he
not.
Doesn't. Oh, his sister goes, man, I should just unsubs. And then plays with his adorable dogs. So yeah, be sure to check out our friends at the Cool Table. Of course, Enter the Realm, Toy Detox, Nerd Rage Radio. Our friends over at Breaking the Mold with F-Zero, my good friend James Jordan. All right, be sure to check out Third Party Crashers. They always post Bobby videos. Be sure to check out T2RX6 on his channel. Of course, Oscar NJ-Boy OSER NJBOY on my channel. And of course, be sure to check out the Lux on theirs. Robert Dia, your local Courthouse. You could always check us out on our Facebook, facebook.com/shatteredcast, as well as look us up on Twitter at shatteredcast. Of course, on our Instagram, shattered_cast_uncut. We have over 1,600 followers. So on behalf of me and my friends here at Shatteredcast Uncut, we want you to please collect responsibly for the sake of Primus. Be good to yourselves and, of course, each other.
Shut the fuck up, everybody.
You've been splattered.
No one listens. All right.